So thank you for coming to the Power Ranger Q&A panel in, what city are we in? Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
So
you have no idea. You wake up sometimes like, you know, be in front of a panel. It's happened once or twice. I'm like, what up, Houston? I mean, Phoenix. That's what I meant. You guys passed the test. Good job. So it can be a good time. Yeah, is this like...
Yeah, it just blocks our face, so my face. So cool. So basically what we do in this is we just answer your guys' questions, and we'll try to do that as nicely as possible. Oh, darn. Never mind. I screwed up. But anyways,
no comment.
There's a microphone up here, and so if you guys have questions for us, just come up to the microphone and make a line straight down the middle, and we'll just go one by one, and hopefully you guys will have some good questions, okay? Is Brandon? Can you see if Beth is out there still? Oh, hey Beth. Is there anybody that can go to my table and bring my big black bag that's under the table up here? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
One question. All right, go ahead, sir.
I'm going to be that guy in the room that has to ask for both of you to do It's Morphin Time.
Oh my God.
I got Jason David Frank to do it. I had you do it last year. Zach did it.
Yeah.
So we need you, Con.
What's your first name?
John.
John, you're on the crap list. I would use the S word, but there's children here. So you are on the caca list.
Yeah, with my little one, we just call it poop.
Poop.
So anyway, the answer is yes. Why don't we save it for the end?
We'll do it at the very end.
That way we can get through everybody, and we'll bust it out for you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. What's up, Blues Brothers?
My question is, do you guys have like a favorite monster from the show? Like some like pumpkin rapper or something like that?
I forgot about that one.
I did too.
See,
That was a good one. Is that your favorite?
Well, he was the most funny.
The pumpkin that raps. That was a funny one.
Yeah.
The Pumpkin?
The pumpkin. Mine, I mean, I did like 200 episodes, so I have a lot of interesting experiences with monsters. But the Pudgy Pig, which was the food fight one, was probably for me, one of my more favorite ones.
Oh, yeah.
And Madame Woe, she was kind of mean. That was kind of fun to work with her. Those are mine.
I think, well, I kind of like the hot ones.
Oh.
I was 18. I was single. What can I say? So I gotta talk about Scorpina. I gotta talk about Divatox. On a scale of 1 to 10, that was yummy. So I guess aside from that, you know, the unsung heroes of the show that were there every day were the putties. So those guys rocked.
Thank you.
Good question. Thank you.
Hi. What would you guys say was your favorite part of being part of the show?
Me? Well, I mean, I got to play a superhero. Don't you think that would be fun?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun, just to be a superhero. And then obviously everybody that was in the original cast, we went through a lot together, and we all kind of started our careers at the same time. So just going through that process together and watching each of us grow from then into where we are now, that's probably been the best part, and that we've all sort of maintained our friendship. It's a good thing for me.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, a lot of the same sentiments. So I love, you know, I stepped away from the limelight for a long time. I was gone with a whole other career. So I didn't know a lot of this was still going on until a little over a year ago. So it's kind of almost 2 lifetimes, or 3 for me. I had the inception of the show, you know, and then I went off and did fire and EMS, and I traveled the world and did all kinds of other stuff. And then I came back, and now you guys are all grown, and you're training in your children. So now I get to hear the adult stories behind the people that made the show what it is today still. So, you know, one of the greatest things for me has been the then and now, seeing you then and now, and hearing your stories at our tables. It's pretty incredible.
Thank you.
And, you know, he said like 3 lifetimes. And did you all wish him a happy 48th birthday the other day?
He just wishes I was his age.
Hi, I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you too. I have a question for both of you. If CM Punk and Jason David Frank finally have their MMA fight, who do you think would win?
I think, well, just so I don't get my butt beat up, Jason David Frank, of course. But yeah, he would win anyways.
Submission or knockout?
Who?
Submission or knockout? How would he win?
Knockout.
Okay.
He's got an amazing kick.
Cool.
You know, I haven't seen either of them fight ever, except, well, I guess I saw Jason fight on TV once. But I mean, I've never seen him fight in real life. I've never seen CM Punk fight in real life.
That's true.
So I guess I don't have an educated answer on what either of them are really capable of.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. My name's Zach Noah, and I have like 3 questions for you guys. Well, for Austin, when Tommy returned in the white light and Zordon said he was now the new leader of the Power Rangers, I always wondered, how did you felt that after all the time as the Red Ranger being the leader, that now Tommy returning is now the new leader, taking your place?
You know, it's a great question, and I can't believe after all this time you guys don't know the story. I can't imagine how for 20 years there's been people around that have never told you the real story. It's amazing. So let me share it with you. When Walter Twee and I left the show, and in fact somebody was at my table today discussing, he came back and watched the series as an adult, and he watched these 3 episodes with the White Ranger, and he said there were these 3 episodes where all we saw was the back of your heads and your voices were different. That's because we left the show. We had some negotiations. Things didn't go well. We left the show. We both shook hands, parted ways, and next thing you know, Tommy was the leader. But they didn't tell you guys that I wasn't in the episode. Neither was Zach, neither was Trini. We had all been gone for 3 episodes. So he got promoted, and that's great. I was happy to leave him the position, but I was the leader every day I was on the show.
The second question is, what was your favorite Zord when you were the Red Ranger and the Gold Ranger? Was it the Tyrannosaurus, the Red Dragon, the Pyramidas, or the Warrior Wheel?
You know, I'm so conflicted. I tell you what, you know, Tyrannosaurus, there's just something primal about the Tyrannosaurus. You know, you go back a million years, we watched Jurassic Park. You know, if Tyrannosaurus walked in the room today, everybody would be out the other doors in a heartbeat. You know, stomping on everybody to get out, right? Just got to be faster than the guy behind you. You know, the Red Dragon came in the door, people would pretty much have the same effect, but there's a mysticism around that one because it's a dragon. And then there was the Pyramid. This thing, did you guys get the concept of how big this thing was? I was like, I just brought the power of Giza up in this fight. Let me roll the Nile right up to your front door. You know, the other 5, they're getting, you know, they're in trouble and getting beat down. I'm like, take a knee, man, I got this. Let me go get my pyramid that I can park my Tyrannosaurus inside. So I love them all for different reasons. They're pretty wicked.
And the third question is the Super Sentai version of Dino Charge. They had like a They had like a team up between the My Morphin version and the Dino Thunder version. Well, is there like somewhere in the near future where we'll have a U.S. version of that with the My Morphin team and Dino Thunder team up with the Dino Chargers?
I think you'd have to talk to Haim Saban. Yeah, he likes to keep his secrets, but I would say stay tuned.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, happy 38th birthday, Austin.
People are they're gonna no idea how old I am. I'm okay with that.
Well, in my opinion, the very first Mighty Morphin has some of the best fighting sequences in like the whole thing. So what styles of karate and wushu, what styles did you incorporate into the choreography for that?
In the 90s, hybrid martial arts became pretty popular. And there were quite a few characters, real martial artists out there, the Gracies among the forefront that, you know, brought in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, took it to a strike fighting arena, and came out victorious. So hybrid was becoming very cool in the 90s for reasons and amongst fighters and names like that. I was hybrid before all that started, not because I was cool, but because my dad was a Marine. So I would be in one martial arts studio, we'd move 9 months later, and I had a choice. I could quit, or I could take what was available. So then I would take the next martial art wherever it was I went, and I would pick them up. And so throughout my life, I've probably been through a combination of about 17 different styles. No, I don't have 17 black belts. Before you ask. I had a second dan in Taekwondo. I studied Chung Do Kwan under Master Khan. And then I picked up a black belt in Kimpo. You had Tiger System, or the Parker System, which broke down. Dave German became Grand Master of that. And then Ray Schneider was his black belt. I trained under Ray Schneider, and my father, who trained under Ray Schneider. And then multiple other arts that I could bore everybody with. I'm not one of these guys that loves to brag about the arts. You know, I like to mix and match. I take pieces from all of them that I've been to, and I love it. Krav Maga, probably my latest out of the Middle East. I worked with the soldiers, Marines, and it was a combat effective martial art. So,
Okay,
lots of
thanks.
them.
Yeah.
Only 11. 11? 17. Wow, that's a lot.
Hello. My question is for both of you. I know it's a long ways away, but is there any chance that you two might know if you're going to be at Power Morphicon in California?
I don't know
I know
yet.
it's a ways away,
They
but-
haven't invited me yet, but I'm assuming if I get invited, I would most likely be there. Yes. Are you gonna go?
Definitely.
Have you been?
I have not been.
Okay. It's
So
really,
this-
like, if you guys don't know what Power Morphicon is, it happens in Los Angeles, Pasadena, really, California. I don't remember what month, August?
Mhm.
Something like that. And it's a con dedicated to Power Rangers. And so it's a lot of fun, and you get to meet everybody from every season, and it's a pretty cool experience. If you can make it out there, you should do it. And if you're out there, send me a message if you want to go hiking. I take fans on hikes, so it's fun. But yeah, if I get invited, I'm sure I'd be there.
It's not an every year thing, and there's people that come in from all over the world for that show. I've had some discussions with the owner. At this time, we're looking at options.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm David, and you guys met me yesterday.
That's right.
Like 3 or 4 times. My question is for anybody who's wanting to be an upcoming Power Ranger, like myself and my brothers. What is your advice for any upcoming Power Rangers, possibly?
I think he is currently with your brother, right? You're working on your own Power Rangers
We're working on
episode
our-
or TV show?
Yeah, we're working on our own series now.
So to kind of give you the backstory, I don't know if you knew that. You know, my advice, you have to bring a little bit or sometimes a lot of who you are. It's not about being something that you're not. It's just about really keeping it real, being who you are, and being confident enough to share that with others and know that some will love it and some will hate it. And it's good enough either way. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Don't let fear be your teacher.
Yeah, I mean, I would just go on what he's saying. Just be yourself, and we all have a superhero within us. So just whatever that superhero is within you, let it shine.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
He's also studying to be a nurse.
Wow.
So real life hero in the works here.
Yeah, for real.
Hey guys.
Hi.
So you both brought different skill sets to the show. David, you being a gymnast, and of course Austin with your martial arts. So how much did that incorporate into your characters, and were there times when you were trying to teach each other different things that would help in the episodes?
Well, for Billy, because they didn't really want him to be a fighter in the beginning or know how to do anything. I mean, my gymnastics obviously helped me get the job because I could do all that kind of stuff. I could flip around and do crazy stuff. And then as time went on, Billy got to learn how to do martial arts. Austin's character, Jason, there's several episodes where he was teaching Billy how to become a martial artist and showing him karate moves and all that good stuff. So, I mean, over the course, my skill set eventually got to shine as the show went on. Does that answer your question, kind of? A little bit?
Kind of, yeah.
What else? How can I expand on it?
I guess just were there any other differences based on the skill sets you brought to the show?
Well, yeah, I mean, just because I was a gymnast, so I didn't really know anything about martial arts. So, like Jason, David, Frank, and Austin and Walter all helped me in like learning different martial arts stuff. So the stuff that they knew, they taught me. And me as a gymnast, I know that I helped Jason, David, Frank learn how to do flips. He fell on his face many times, which is great, and kind of humbled him a little bit. So anywhere that we could help each other out, we did, and so it was great that we all were able to kind of grow together. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. As far as martial arts go, when they were auditioning for Jason's character, well, at the time the character's name was Victor, I got there, and I mean, my very first audition, it was point blank, can you do martial arts? Yes. Great, go ahead. Oh, no pressure. Okay. And so jump spinning kicks, everything I could do. And, 3 people sitting behind a table like this. And Katie was hot, too. So I was 17 doing martial arts for this really hot woman. So I was totally intimidated and turned on and terrified to screw up. So, no teenage boy wants to be embarrassed in front of a beautiful lady. So, I did. And, then the reaction, she was always warm. She was like, oh, big smiles. Katie was wonderful. And then the other guys were like, thanks. Make a note, and then I was out the door, and we read a monologue later, and obviously I had some of the right stuff because I'm still here. So, but yeah, they weren't playing around. They wanted me to know how to fight. I had to know how to fight, and if I didn't know how to fight, I wasn't going to get the role. Yep. But I loved it. I learned from these guys a lot too. Gymnastics wasn't. I had some martial arts type gymnastics. But really with these guys, and we had an incredible stunt team. A lot of them added to my ability to do flips and round-offs. And we used to go up to the LA Gymnast Center. And by the time I was done, I was, 4 or 5 back handsprings into a back tuck. I was doing Russians and underdogs and, having a good time with it. So I learned along the way, too.
Awesome.
I feel like you have a theme going on with beautiful women today.
When I sit in front of so many, it's hard not to speak of it.
And just for you guys who don't know, Katie, that he's referring to, is Katie Wallen. She was the casting director of Power Rangers when we were on the show, and she was a very beautiful woman. And she was young. But yeah. Sorry, you're Heather, right?
Melissa.
Oh, God. Thought I was doing good. Sorry.
He's on the poop list.
I'm on the poop list. Sorry, bud.
Trust me, people always get my name wrong. It's hilarious. But it's my question, it kind of, I guess, has 2 sides to it. Being the first generation of Power Rangers, you're given this, you started the Blue Rangers, you started the Red Rangers. Passing on that title, now you're the Blue Ranger and you're the Red Ranger. And you guys came back also, but took different roles. You were a technical advisor and you came back as a Ranger. You even came back for the
movie.
Yeah, the movie, and then you came back when it was all the Red Rangers together. What does it feel like to be able to, we started this, we're passing on this legacy, and then, seeing all of these different Rangers throughout, throughout everything. What does it feel like to know you guys started that?
I don't know that it's easy to describe. I won't, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. There are a lot of Rangers. I think over 100 now today. Or maybe it's 100 cast members total. I don't know, but there's been a lot. And I don't know that it's really easy to put into words. I was there at the beginning of something. I certainly don't hold responsibility or credit for all of the amazing people that came after and added their own legacy and continued to build a new fan base and bring their own amazing efforts and talents to their characters and roles. But I think as far as being the first Red Ranger outside of Japan, it's pretty humbling. It's pretty amazing. And you guys make it great every day I'm here.
Yeah, it's such an awesome experience for us. When we started the show, none of us had any idea the impact that this television show would have on so many people's lives. And every time we do a con, I think, and as the years go on, we become more and more humbled by the stories that we hear from you guys. So obviously, it's a huge honor to have been the original cast. And like he's saying, like all the other actors that come after us and play a blue or a red or a green or pink or yellow Ranger and Black Ranger, it's really cool that we got to be the originators of that, obviously in the U.S. So it's really cool. It's honoring, and it's an honor, and it's humbling. Is that cool?
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Good question. All right, here's my girl.
Go ahead, tell 'em.
I love Power Rangers in my whole heart.
Is that all you wanted to say?
Did anybody else just fall in love? I just want to make sure I was not alone.
And I just wanted to know, other than like this kind of stuff, like going to conventions, what else kind of things are you guys involved in right now?
I mean, since I left the TV show, I've worked a lot behind the scenes in television on different levels, like as a producer or a location manager on a lot of reality shows and scripted comedies. So I kind of keep busy doing that.
That's cool.
Well, I left the show and was kind of a lost soul for a little while. I ended up bouncing, bartending, finished up high school, went through 2 college degrees, bartending, paying my way through school like probably most everybody else out here. I got involved in emergency medicine. I ended up working as a medic, flight medic, tactical medical operator. I'm still a paramedic, still nationally registered, still have all my active certs. I did 4 years in the Middle East for the war through the Department of Defense. I was attached to military operations overseas. And now I'm back here, and I am working on several independent films, shooting 2 independent movie trailers next month here in Ohio. One is a movie that takes place in 1812 based on a true historical character by the name of Simon Kenton. And you guys know the name.
Hey, I graduated from Simon Kenton. So.
Okay.
Yep.
So I will be bringing his character back to life. And there may be some other faces you might recognize there. I'm not going to say just yet. And I've got another film working on called We Need Heroes, which will be an action piece. And then I've got Survival's End, those of you that know about it. We've already shot 20% of that film, and we're hoping to finish it up in the next 12 months. So I've got quite a few things coming up. And I'm going to find a way, as sneaky as I can. How many of you watch anime? I think I got a good idea. I'm just saying. I've recently, I'd heard of it certainly in the last year, and now I'm hearing more and more about it. I'm going to bring back a character. I'm going to take Jason years later down the road, and I'm going to bring him back in a setting that you guys might enjoy. That's all I'm going to say on it right now because I don't have rights protected. I don't want somebody stealing it. But anyway, so a lot of stuff coming. I look forward to sharing it with all of you.
All right, thank you.
What was your daughter's name?
Cheyenne.
That's right. Cheyenne, you're an amazing little girl. We love you.
So now I gotta follow that.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, you're wearing a good T-shirt, so it's cool.
Good shirt.
Oh man, you just totally made my day. Well, in addition to that, my question is, were there any funny ad-libs or kind of maybe not mistakes, but things that weren't intended to show up in the script where you guys were just playing around and they went, you know what, that's funny, we're putting it in?
I'm sure there are. I mean, I know it happened several times. I think with Walter, was it Walter or you? Like he was doing a fight and he slipped on the grass and, actually it was a really bad mistake, but they left it in kind of thing. But it kind of made it look more real, I guess. Was that you or was that him? It was him.
Somebody.
You're like, I would never slip. Walter tells that story.
Not when the camera's on.
Yeah, not when the camera's on. So, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of little things. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened that obviously didn't make it into the show. Like Amy Jo and I were set on fire. I was electrocuted. Just stuff like that.
You notice that?
Yeah.
He
like
still
Billy,
gets it.
Billy made it was the Cake-O-Matic. I don't know if you remember that episode. Like Billy's making a Cake-O-Matic thing. So they have this microwave. And they're like, okay, just stick your hands in there. We're going to shoot water and foam and soap. And, there's some electrical stuff in there, but don't worry about it. And just act like you're fiddling. And so I'm in there fiddling, and they're throwing water onto electricity. I'm like, so that was fun. That was a good day.
No comment.
So stuff like that. Is that cool?
Yeah, thanks.
And Jason David Frank always had bad breath. So there's a lot of, Jason is like one of my best friends, so please don't think like I'm totally insulting him. So, what's up? Oh, can you bring it down to your? Can you tilt it? There you go. Perfect.
Do you really miss being a Power Ranger?
Do you?
You know, I miss it when I talk to guys like you. I really do. You guys make it missable.
Yeah, it was so much fun to be a Power Ranger. We got to be superheroes, and we get to meet a lot of cool people like you. So yeah, I miss that part of it.
And we got to destroy a city every day and then rebuild it.
Nice. Thank you. What was your first name?
My name?
Yes, sir.
Kaylin.
Kaylin. It's nice to see you again, and thank you for your question.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I have a question for both of you guys.
Okay.
What made you become, what made you want it to become Power Rangers? And what made you want to become actors to act out the movie Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Well, since I was like a little kid, since I was 7 years old, I always wanted to be an actor. So by the time I got to an adult age, I thought, well, I'm just going to move to Hollywood and try my luck. And luckily for me, I got to Hollywood, and I was only there for 3 months, and I landed Power Rangers. It was just like an open audition that they had, and I was lucky enough to be one of the ones chosen. And when we first started auditioning, I mean, my experience was I didn't really realize that it was going to be a show about superheroes. I didn't really have the whole concept. I was just auditioning for Billy for the most part. And then I didn't really know that I got to be a Power Ranger until we actually started filming the pilot. And that's when I started figuring out, oh, we have to wear spandex and got to jump around and all that kind of stuff. So, but it was a great job.
I think for me, I wasn't an actor. I didn't know anything about acting. That was definitely something the rest of the original cast, they were like, hey, when you're saying something, you should probably make sure the camera can see your face. In police work, they call that a clue. So, you know, they built me from the ground up as far as being an actor. I ended up hearing about the audition through a friend, and a long story short, he bet me I wouldn't be wasting my time if I went to this audition for a show called Phantoms. And the character's name originally was Victor. And so I went in, you know, with these guys right around the same time. We all went in separate initially. And as they whittled us down and got closer and closer to who they wanted or who they thought they might cast, they had a short group, a medium group, and a tall group. And we were in the medium group. And they put us together, and we had pretty good chemistry. You know, we were all pretty genuine folks, and we like people.
I feel like we were the short group.
Well, I feel tall, damn it.
No. we were the short group, but we were Group A.
He's fired. Anyway, so we had a lot of fun, and you know, eventually we found out the show was called Power Rangers, and then we found out that you know, we each had these key roles on this team of teenage superheroes to play, and I was pretty excited. They were like, you're going to do martial arts on TV and inspire, you know, all sorts of cool stuff in the superhero world. And at 17, I thought that was awesome. So I loved it.
Thank you.
Good question.
Thank you. Good question.
Nice shirt, buddy.
What's up, Red Ranger?
What's your favorite Power Ranger Zord?
Zord?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Mine, I mean, I had three. The Triceratops, the unicorn, that's a good one, and the wolf. So I will always have, the Triceratops will always be my most favorite because it was my first Zord, but the wolf is pretty cool. The unicorn, you know, I could take or leave, but it was still fun.
You could have been the frog.
Could have been.
You should hear, if you make a convention, you run into Johnny Bosch, ask him about the frog, and tell him I told you to do it. Johnny's awesome. You'll get some good answers. I think my favorite Zord was probably the T-Rex, just because that's where I started. So I don't know a little kid anywhere in the world that's ever had a TV or a magazine that doesn't think the Tyrannosaurus is super cool. And I thought it was pretty cool. He was all mine. It was just really hard to feed him every day. He ate a lot.
Plenty of putty bad guys to eat.
Yeah.
Plenty of putties, that's right.
Good question.
I like your suit, bud.
When you guys were fighting the monsters, have you ever thought that why don't we just get out the sword now and crush them? Well, they're still small.
That might be the best question right here.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, I like that question. Do you know how many times we had this talk with the directors and the producers? Like, here's a clue, again, in police work. Something bad's going to happen. We're going to fight it. And then we're going to have to get into the red suits, and we're going to fight it some more. And then we're going to have to get in a big Tyrannosaurus or Triceratops and fight it some more. And then we're all going to go to the Ultra Mega Super Mambo Zord and have to fight it some more. But only after we destroy the city can we really kill the monster. So, and I think it was all contracting through the government. They just wanted the contracts to rebuild the city each day. So, I wish we could have killed it the first time, but the show wouldn't have been as fun, I think.
No, it'd be pretty boring. I mean, you got to make something happen for a half hour. So, that's what it comes down to. But I like your style, kid. Yeah. I can tell you're smart.
That's right.
And Nicholas, is it Nicholas? Yes. Okay, good job.
My question is, with Ivan Ooze getting a role in Age of Apocalypse, will the Power Rangers be showing up?
I wish. That'd be cool.
What just happened? Was it, what?
The makeup for Apocalypse in Age of Apocalypse, he looks like Ivan Ooze.
There's a character that looks similar to Ivan. Well, he wasn't in the movie, so I guess he doesn't really... He doesn't have the same sentiment that I like.
Sorry.
There's a character that sort of resembles Ivan Ooze, who was our villain in the movie, and so there's like this big thing going around the internet about how it's Ivan Ooze and all that kind of stuff because he's purple and he's got the same type of hairish type stuff. It's funny, so I like that people did that. So, and I just want to say that somebody like Nicki Minaj is going around as the new Rita Repulsa as for the new movie coming up, and she's absolutely perfect for it. So she gets my vote. You guys don't think so? You don't like? I don't necessarily like her I don't know anything about her. I don't know her personally.
I am deeply disturbed by that.
Really? I think she'd actually be a good Rita Repulsa. That's just my opinion. You guys don't think so, huh? Who do you want to be Rita Repulsa? Anybody else? All right, I'll withdraw my nomination.
I'd like for it to be somebody that can conduct themselves in public with a little bit of class. That's not going to be running for president in 2017 on an award show.
So Kim Kardashian?
She'd look good.
She'd look good.
I'm just saying. I'd have to add her to the list.
Great, funny question. Thank you.
Okay, I have actually a two-part question. I know you said one question, but
Is this your brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
We met yesterday.
I remember.
I'm the villain in his show. But my question is, how physically exhausting was the conditioning for your show?
I mean, we were all in pretty good shape. I mean, he was active gymnast, so he was in great condition. They tried to hide it. I remember having these discussions with him, how much they were trying to hide the fact that he was jacked. He was like, yeah, what up? I mean, you can't do 5,000 back handsprings and not be in shape. So they were always trying to play his character down in the beginning, and they didn't want to show that off. So I think that was pretty cool for him. What was the question again?
How physically exhausting?
How physically exhausting was it?
Yeah.
But thank you.
You're welcome. You know,
and,
it's not weird like that, but you know, you were hot. So anyway, anyway, my character. I mean, I'd been training my whole life, and you know, especially throughout the day. I mean, really, the training regiment was all the fight scenes. It was hours. I mean, hours. And when we weren't in front of the camera doing the scenes, then we were practicing and choreographing and flipping and fighting. So it was constant. It was constant. Once I got off the show, I was probably 4 or 5 hours a day. I was training a lot.
Yep, and like, you know, we work anywhere from 12 to 15-hour days, and so you have a call of like 5 a.m., and then you start your first, if we're doing a fight day, you start your first scene like around 6 a.m., so you're out there fighting when it's freezing and the grass is wet, and then the sun starts coming out, and it starts getting hot, and so you're dealing with all the elements of just trying to keep up, and, you know, it was physically just from the long hours, all the things we had to do, the fight scenes that we had to do, plus know all of our dialogue and all the acting scenes. You know, it does become a lot. And we never, the first season, we didn't have a break. I mean, we started filming and we shot all the way through the year. We almost were done filming the first season before it even started airing. Yeah. Like we started filming in January and it didn't even air until September or August. So like we had filmed for 9 months basically before it even started airing. So it's pretty crazy. And then it was a overnight success. So it's pretty cool.
And the second part of the question is, how different were the personalities on and off the screen? Like each character's personalities on and off the screen.
You trying to get the drama? Is that what you're after?
I wouldn't say drama, but
what happens on set stays on set. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was not my character at all. I mean, I'm not a smart, intelligent person, as you can tell.
No
like
comment.
I was just a very average C student, and so to get to play a brainiac was a lot of fun for me. Like I had to sit and look at a dictionary to try to figure out what my character was saying because he used all kinds of big words, and then I had to try to make it sound somewhat natural. So in terms of that, but I mean, like, and I don't really want to say like what was going on behind the scenes. I mean, we were all friends and everybody was pretty cool. We worked long days, so we didn't have a lot of time to get in trouble, to tell you the truth. So, yeah.
Moving right along. I was completely typecast. Yeah. I was a teenager with attitude and all kinds of martial arts skills to back it up. Wasn't the best martial artist. I was no Bruce Lee, but I was apparently good enough to get the job done. And I had a lot of guidance in so many different directions. So I think what I brought to the leadership that I tried to bring to my character was stuff I got from my parents. Father was a Mustanger in the Marine Corps, retired Marine officer. Well, at the time, he was still active. So I'd seen him operate as a leader. My mom was a first female cop in Roswell, New Mexico. Tough lady, leader in many aspects. So I tried to bring a lot of what they taught me in life to my character. So I guess if I brought anything, it would have been my parents to the role of Jason. Strong, silent type, walk softly, kick the hell out of everybody when they hit on your friends, and go from there. So
he wanted the drama. He didn't want you to be nice.
That's the after hours panel. You gotta, you know.
I guess I'll ask later.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great question.
Hey, I'm Andrew. I just want to say, me and my brother, Power Rangers was actually banned by our parents because they thought like the fighting was bad. So me and my brother would like sneak watching Power Rangers. And now like he and me are way older, but we always would like try to imitate fighting like the putties and stuff with like pillows and stuff. But how fun was it just to like beat up on people constantly?
Can you do? What's your impression of a putty? Can you do it?
What?
Yeah, oh, come on! You just said.
What?
Who can do the imitate? Who can do a putty?
Oh, we got two girls way in the back over there.
All right. Oh, the twins. Let's hear the twins. What do you got? You're hired. I think it was pretty awesome. I love it. I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, it was. The putties were fun. We got to, we would. Did we put baby powder on them or something like that?
Yeah,
so like when we would kick them, you'd see like kind of powder or smoke or dirt fly out and stuff like that.
They put it on our shoes too,
Yeah,
so
it was
that
on
when
our
we kicked
shoes.
them, you get that bang.
Yeah.
And
so
the very first pilot, you remember we were shooting up at Vasquez Rocks, and they had them before they got spandex. They had them in wetsuits. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
These poor guys, Vasquez Rocks, California desert, during the day, jumping around fighting. I can't believe they didn't die. I mean, it was they.
Yeah.
Woo.
They really went through the ringer on a lot of
They
stuff.
did. Anyway, so the putties were awesome. I loved every one of them.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, I was just wondering, how does it make you feel knowing that there are children like 5 to 7 that know exactly who you are? Because I have a niece and nephew, and 2 godchildren who wanted to be here, and they know they saw your pictures on the pamphlets I had, and they know exactly who you are just by looking at those. So, how does that make you feel knowing that children, 20 some odd years after the show, has been aired that they just know exactly who you are?
Well, you got to say it 20 years later. I'm just kidding. I tell you what, man, I love it. You know, it's kind of what we were talking about. It never ceases to blow my mind that the show just carries on. And many of you with children have gone back and you're like, well, that's cool, these are new episodes, but this is where it started. You know, so you guys are making that happen. And it happened in my house. I was overseas for 4 years. And my little boy, I was there to see him born. And I didn't really get to see him a lot for 4 years, almost at all. And I had always told my wife, I was like, hon, I don't want him to see the show. And it wasn't a shame thing. It was I just wanted to be dad. You know what I mean? Just wanted to be dad. She's smarter than I am. And I was gone. So she would put it up while I was gone and be like, hey, that's your daddy. He's a Power Ranger. So years of this, and I come home, and my boy comes running up, gives me a huge hug at the door, and says, Daddy Ranger. So I have that 5.5-year-old that's doing exactly that, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the big perks of the job, so thank you.
How y'all guys doing today?
Good.
Good. All right, I got a two-part question. It's for the both of y'all. Now, I noticed that the Power Rangers reboot was due to come out like next year, I think.
January 2017.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And I just wanted to say, I wanted to get y'all take on it, and if y'all had the opportunity, would y'all be part of the cast?
Yeah, I mean, he's asking about the Power Ranger movie reboot that's going to be coming out January 2017. That's what they say. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I don't know too many details about it, but from what I understand, they're basing it on the original cast. So it'd be like Billy, Jason, Kimberly, Tommy, Trini, Zach. So I'll be curious to see who they cast in those roles. And obviously, I think we're all open to coming back to do cameos. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So we'll see.
Yeah, pretty much same sentiment. I'm dying to see what they're going to do. I'm pretty curious. I'm sure it won't be too far from the original concept, because I think they want another 20 years and countless billions of dollars. But you know, so I'm pretty curious to see how it's going to go. And if they offered something and it was written well, I would probably certainly take a look at it.
But I guess Nicki Minaj won't be playing Rita. That's what we've decided in Cincinnati. So okay.
What about Beyonce? I could do Beyonce, right? I mean, not Beyonce would be a good Rita. That's all I'm saying. Lady Gaga.
All right. Cool. Thank you for your question.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell us? Okay. We'll do power questions.
My question is, how was it reacted on the set behind the scenes with the typecasting Walter as the Black Ranger, Twee as the Yellow Ranger? Very politically incorrect. Was there kind of a general reaction to that?
I don't think that was ever the intention. In fact, the Yellow Ranger was originally Hispanic, the first one that was cast. All of the colors, completely coincidental.
Yep.
And it wasn't until sometime afterwards that people started bringing up, you know, hey, what about this? We're like, don't make it about something it's not. It was never that way.
It was never that way, yeah. Good question, though. How you doing?
A little starstruck right now, sorry. Big fans.
Thank you.
Out of all the seasons that you guys did, the ones that you didn't do, was there ever one that you were like, oh man, I really want to get in on that? Like how they did in Space, Zeo. You guys were in that. Like Lost Galaxy, stuff like that. Or any of those ones, something you would want to do?
I don't know, to be honest, and hopefully the crowd won't turn against me. I've never watched any of the seasons after me. You know, I catch little things here and there, but I've never really sat down. So, I mean, I am pretty content with, season 1 will always have the biggest place in my heart, just because of everything that we went through as a cast and as people together. So, yeah, I'm cool.
I'm pretty cool with it, too. I haven't seen, in fact, I didn't even know they were still filming until not too long ago. But, you know, you've all done a job at some point in your life, and you finish the job, and you have that feeling, job well done, just complete satisfaction. That's where I am.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, you guys are my only group of Power Ranger guys, so I didn't even care about the other seasons too. So, but my question is, so there was a fake trailer on YouTube about a very serious HBO version show of Power Rangers. What would you guys thoughts on something more adult themed, serious, and like what kind of thing would you want to see happen in a show like that?
So you're asking us if we would back up a seriously violent, cocaine-snorting Zack character that was blowing brains out of people on the pilot?
Oh, yes.
If I could guarantee children wouldn't see it, maybe.
HBO.
I certainly wouldn't let my children watch it. As far as that went, my critique is as a professional piece, it was well shot, organized, directed, looked like they spent good money on it. Director had a clear vision, and I thought that came through. It kind of made my heart sink when I watched the content, and I would be horrified that maybe somebody that didn't know what Power Rangers were, if that was their first exposure. But this is a free country, and Haim had the ability and the option to make it extra cheesy with, or what does Karen say? Rated G with extra cheese. And any one of us have the option and the freedom in this country to go out and make a completely opposite spectrum end of it. So he exercised his rights. He did a good job at what he did, even though I personally was mortified watching it. He did well.
Thank you. Yeah, same. Thank you. Good question.
Hi, I've actually never seen a whole episode of the show. So
How dare you?
Boo me now, but
I'm just kidding.
Traitor, guards!
I came with my nephew Nicholas, who asked a question earlier.
Okay.
But I just kept looking at you, and I thought you looked familiar. Your name sounded familiar. But I was a gymnast in college when this was all going on, and I was wondering, did you ever go to Woodward Gymnastics Camp?
I did.
What did you have title? You had national titles or something, didn't you?
I did, but I was like in the Western region. I was never really over this way too much. So
we had instructors from Iowa, which I think.
I was born in Iowa, but most of my competing took place like in Montana, to the west.
It was just
Washington.
weird because the name was familiar. And
Yeah, I get that a lot. People are like, God, you look familiar.
Did you ever go to a gymnastics camp?
I'm sure I must have. I did, yeah. I just don't know.
That was one of the
just
big
never
ones.
this way.
Okay.
So, but thank you. That was fun.
What's up, man?
Okay, this is our final question, and then go ahead.
Just for record, you two are like the best actors out of the whole Power Rangers series.
No, stop. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, it's okay.
They can try and make them better, but you can't beat the classics. Now, here is my question.
I like this
guy. Here's my question. Do you ever plan to join back in the Power Rangers later on in the future?
I think it would depend on whether they ever made the show union and how they approached us with scripts and ideas. I think that the option is out there, and I would love to see what they might write or might approach us with. I think Dave probably feels the same way.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I'm a union actor, so right now I can't go back to the show because they film it in New Zealand, they film it non-union, so I don't have that opportunity. But yes, like with the film, if they make this new film, it will be union. We could absolutely do that. But otherwise, I can't go against my union just to go back to the TV show at this point. For me.
Thank you.
That's a great question. Okay, so before we go, we like to give away a little gift for the best question of the day. So I think we both feel like Nicholas. Are you still here, buddy? Yeah, Nicholas, come on up. And we're going to give you from 1993 even, older than you. It's like an antique. It's a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger book, and both Austin and I have autographed it, and it's got like really cool, hold on, somewhere. Like pictures of Twee, like Trini.
Pictures of Twee.
All of us, we're in there.
The originals.
Pretty cool. All right.
So now you have something for your collection.
Thank you, Nicholas. Great question. And thank you all for coming to our panel. We greatly appreciate you. You guys make our lives more rich every day. And if you haven't come to our tables and to meet us, please do. We're happy to take pictures with you, sign autographs, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr,
everywhere,
Vine, all that stuff. So
yeah, we've got all sorts of information down at the page. But I tell you what, right now it is Morphin time.
I
right?
forgot about that. I was trying to skate out on that.
I know you were. I wasn't gonna let him get away with that. All right.
All right. Sorry, the leader's talking to me. Hold on.
We'll be right with you.
Oh, okay.
I don't need a microphone for this.
On 3, you guys count it. 1, 2, 3. It's Morphin time! Tyrannosaurus!
Triceratops!